You've been a person that has always, from when I watch on your social media and stuff, you talk about women empowerment and empowerment, like it's in the name of your company.
Women in reality film.
Women in reality film, and self-love and you did a post and you talked about the Cat Williams thing, and you did a post and you posted Monique and Shannon Sharp, and you were like, this needs to happen.
Yeah.
And subliminally, I mean, of course we knew what you were trying to say. And I hear this conversation about what happened with R&B divas. Like, how do you feel like is there a lack of empowerment and in entertainment from your perspective, from Nicci Gilbert's perspective? Can you kind of break that down from your experiences?
Yeah. My experiences have been that there's absolutely a lack of empowerment and opportunity to build generational wealth and wellness, which is more important than the wealth. If you have the wealth and your mind ain't right, it don't matter, right? And I think that is an issue that we've been trying to figure out since the beginning, right? It's interesting. I have a really dope conversation coming up that I have with Eric Monty, who created Good Times, and his family, right? And one of the issues there is just the only example we have of how owning your intellectual property can really build wealth in our community is Tyler. Byron Allen, maybe Oprah Winfrey in some ways, right?
Yeah.
We got a few we can count on our fingers.
Yeah.
And out of those few, my question is how many others have been created like you, not work for hire.
You're talking about bosses creating bosses.
How many bosses, how many people who I would love for Tyler to take me under his wing and as everybody's not building and creating content and trying to build streaming platforms. Everyone isn't doing that. So the few of us who are that you know of, that you've worked with, I would love for someone to say, hey, listen, this model could work in Detroit. Why don't you make this thing happen in Detroit? Let me give you the tools and the resources that you need to build it over here, right? And then someone else can build it in Chicago. And then there shouldn't be one or two people owning television production studios and companies to be able to make it happen. So I know I deviated a little bit from the women's
No, I'm
piece.
with you.
And the reason I speak so much about women, right, is because if you think numbers don't lie, people do. We are the #1 consumers of a lot of this content. Like if you look at some of these streaming platforms, Black women are watching in droves, subscribing in droves, and we don't have ownership of those narratives. So everything that our young women and our young men, and women, a lot of us are leading families as single moms. Statistics are statistics, period. So to empower women, when you give a woman an opportunity to have ownership and spread, wealth and wellness and information and education, you heal communities, right? Because women take care of their husbands if they're a good wife. Women take care of their kids if they're good mothers.
Right.
Women run things at the job. You see more and more Black-owned businesses by women thriving and making hundreds of millions of dollars in acquisitions in hair care and everywhere else. The only place we're not thriving that way is in entertainment and media, which is the #1 way our people get their information. So if you are culturally incompetent and you're painting the story and the narrative, you're creating a culture that you've never lived, that you've never been a part of. And you're creating it based on stereotypes that are toxic and destructive, because those stereotypes are compelling for people to watch.
What are the stereotypes you're talking about?
Oh, I mean, come on. The brothers are drug dealers, the sisters are strippers, we're angry Black women. There's the mammy, the angry Black woman, the woman with the Oprah complex
just evolved,
who doesn't want a family. You understand what I'm saying? Like where is the representation of women who are bosses, but in their homes, they respect their husbands equally. You know what I mean? They take care of their children. They cook. They clean, they do laundry, and they still go to work and kick ass. Like, where's that narrative?
So I have a question for you. Where is the foundation of that coming from?
It's coming from me watching the destruction of my community.
I'm talking about the action.
Oh, what is the action?
Yeah.
The action is that we have to create opportunities to own the content that we create, and partner versus be works for hire.
Right.
If Taraji P. Henson is the top of the food chain in terms of black actresses in Hollywood,
or Viola Davis,
or Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
I don't think you can use when we talk about actors and entertainers in this world that like universally people love. These are those people, and they are saying that it is culturally incompetent. The pay disparity is crazy. So why are our kids so consumed with becoming a part of an industry that Prince wrote "slave" on the side of his face? Michael Jackson is the world's greatest, most popular entertainer. I know Beyonce's a close second, but give me a break. The most powerful, influential people in this business have all said there is a problem there.
Yeah. But the people that are saying there's a problem, do they have accountability for themselves to be a solution? Does that reside in them to be a solution?
You know, you have to know better to do better.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So I don't think that Michael Jackson and Prince went there when he took on the machine for ownership of his masters.
Yeah.
Bob Marley's been talking about it.
Prince.
They do the action.
Yeah.
The onus is on the people who love and support these artists.
Yeah.
To listen.
Yeah. I kind of feel like it's like a cycle, because if you're constantly, what does entertainment mostly feed? The youth, the children, young people. Where are they getting the information from? How are they learning? You know, the parents, you know, they're allowing them, especially you get younger and younger parents, they're allowing the children to learn off of all the social media platforms, entertainment, and that's what's being fed. So that's like my question, like where is the source of feeding?
The source is in the distributors
It's the executives.
who are more concerned with capitalism and making money than they are the community.
Exactly.
And the only reason they're able to do that is because we give them the power to do it.
That's true.
And that is what people don't understand.
That is very true.
And the big responsibility lies on people like Tyler Perry.
Yeah.
Because he has, in my opinion, the power to change the lives of so many creatives. And it is not in hiring someone. It is not in giving them a lot of money. It is in teaching people how to fish.
Yeah.
Don't sit up high, look down low, and invite me occasionally to your palace to serve me fish. Show me how you caught it.
But I feel like that's what the expectation is in the wrong people. Me personally.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Let me ask you, what do you mean by that? The expectation is in the wrong people.
Like, we're expecting Oprah. We're expecting Tyler Perry. The story you just told me about Tyler Perry was like a struggle. You said you wish you would have had an empowerment. So now we're expecting the same person that is selective with his empowerment. What you're speaking, I agree. I agree with what you're saying, that from a grand scale and from a cultural perspective, that is how you have a grip on the industry. But then, okay, who's at the top? You got Oprah at the top. You got Tyler at the top. But then we're expecting them to make this great decision.
Okay, and let me say,
I feel like it's too much belief in man. And you said that you got your opportunity based on faith.
I agree 100%.
So now we believing in man to make this change, but you got your opportunity with Michael Jackson. The first thing you said was through God. But then we were expecting this man that's all over the place, even though he's in that position. I agree with you 100%. I'm just saying sometimes I feel like we put that expectation and you're going to get disappointed. Even though they're billionaires and they got this big old studio right up the street.
Yeah. I agree that faith, number one, over all things. But I also think that God gives us the ability to recognize where there needs to be change.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah,
I think that while we can't like step inside of somebody's body and make them move in certain directions
Yeah.
and do certain things,
yeah,
we can tell the truth about what some of the issues are that are blocking us
yes.
from being able to get there.
Yes.
And if we can't count on people from our own community who have had our own lived experiences, right, to help, then we damn sure can't count on people who have no idea where we're coming from
Right.
and what we do to help, right?
Right.
So what we have to do is make sure that our viewers, which are the most powerful people in the world, right? The people who watch and consume the content that these people deliver to us, right? We have to make sure that they're aware and that their eyes are opened up. And the more people start to realize, I've been sold a bill of goods thinking that this was this, when really it's that, because it's coming.
Yeah.
The people tired.
Yeah.
Cat Williams was just the beginning.
Definitely, yeah.
And I think that that is the painful, uncomfortable process that we're going to have to go through
Right.
in order to get to the promise.
Right.
We got to call. It doesn't mean you stop working. Because people think I'm the most difficult, worst bitch on the planet. And I have been responsible for a lot of people having opportunities in their lives and careers. And I'm one of the most giving to a fault. My husband's like, you're going to really learn one day. Like polar opposite. But I can't be bothered by what people who don't know me think about me.
Right.
I have to stay focused on the goal.
Right.
And the goal is to build a platform, to build a universe where I am educating and informing and inspiring people to have ownership of their shit. Because I don't care how famous you are. I don't care how fancy your clothes are. I don't care how cute you are. I don't care how many cars you got, how many watches you wear. I don't care what parties you at, taking a picture for 2.5 seconds and then you all don't even speak to each other, right?
Right.
If you don't have ownership of your sugar, honey, iced tea, you have nothing of value to pass down to future generations of people.
Absolutely.
I just understood the importance of trademarking Nicci Gilbert and trademarking R&B divas and trademarking Brownstone and trademarking Worth Me. You think you apply for a business and no, that's not it. You have to own it. And if you don't own it, you have no power.
Right.
Power and ownership go it hand in hand.
Right.
And I wish instead of more of us flexing our wealth, flexing our popularity, we teach each other the importance of ownership. And people get afraid to talk about it because that's the truth. And it's going to irritate a lot of people. But my purpose is to say the lesson I learned from working with Tyler, I've worked with Latifah. And you know what? Shout out to Flavor Unit, Latifah and Shakim. Because that ownership play was offered to me with BET. And Shakim was like, no, we're going to own it and license it. And it is the most successful show from a wealth building perspective in my life than any show I've ever done.
You talking about from the ground up?
From the bottom up.
From the bottom up, sorry.
And purpose, we put away a predator who had been preying on girls and molesting and doing horrible things to young girls in the neighborhood. Sarah Stokes' father, no disrespect, Sarah, you know I love you, but he was an animal. And he went to jail for 30 to 60 years because he was sexually assaulting the 12-year-old little girl. Since she was 12, I think she was maybe, since she was 12 or 13, I think she was maybe 14, 17 at the time. But she watched from the bottom up and saw Sarah share her testimony about what her father was doing to her. That led to, one thing led to another, and they caught him red-handed. So this show that nobody's ever heard about put a predator away and was able to create some sort of, we were able to get our home, buy our home because of a show that nobody really watched. But we had ownership. So in licensing, in advertising, and in every way, you're able to participate forever as long as you have ownership of it.
Right.
Trendsetter.